but Gyakye Quayson, the NDC candidate, has just arrived and is going to cast his ballot. And so in your shots is Gyakye Quayson being mobbed by supporters of the party. They are bringing him to the polling station, led by Sami Jemfi, the communications officer of the NDC. And so you see how Quayson is making that entry into the polling station to cast his ballot. It's been an interesting sight here, how people believe that their candidate, their respective candidates will win. And so that is what you see. So we are eagerly waiting for the NDC candidate Gyakye Quayson to come to his polling center to cast his ballot here at Assin Breku. And so we are anxiously waiting for Gyakye Quayson to come here. So Gyakye Quayson is just entering the polling station. It's been cordoned off, and he will be the only one that will be granted access to the place in order for him to cast his ballot. Many of the people want to catch a glimpse of Gyakye Quayson casting his ballot, and they feel that that will signal victory for the NDC. So the police are trying to maintain order. They are announcing that the people that are rushing in should go back. They shouldn't cause any chaos here. So the announcement is being made by DCOP Paul Awini. So this is what is happening.
So as you can see in your on your screens just a while ago, Gyakye Quayson, who is the candidate for the NDC, has just gone to the polling station to cast his ballot. You saw the crowd that flanked him, and the security people had to come in to maintain order. Earlier, the two parties met the IGP and they expressed satisfaction with what the police told them, and they've actually expressed satisfaction with the number of police people who will be guiding this election. Later, we'll go back and find out if security has been well maintained. But as you can see in the shot, it's a whole lot of people surrounding the NDC candidate Gyakye Quayson, who is yet to cast his ballot in the Assin North election. And you heard Kojo Nyako talk about the fact that there's been Nano Pokwajiman, who is the 2020 running mate of the NDC. She's been there. The former Attorney General has been there. They've all been happy with how things have gone so far. Let's go back to Assin North. Kojo Nyako is still there for us.
Now what waba?
Me na man to maba.
Want to about it?
Dabi. Me ayi opoku. Me opoku me na matu aba. Me opoku me ntu aba wa ha. Oyi dia onye opoku. Oya Canada ni so abatu na aba. Me amagina as opoku no. Me ntu aba. Na me de metmari ni. Me
ka wankasa.
Me opoku. Me se me opoku.
No opoku bia na ntu aba.
Na tu me ntu aba ni bi. Ono de otu aba, entu aba betu aba.
So this gentleman is saying that because Opoku is not voting, he is not also voting, but Gyakye Quayson is voting. And so once Gyakye Quayson, who is from Canada, who is perceived to be from Canada, is voting, that is what is happening here. So Gyakye Quayson has returned. I'm not sure it is time yet for him to come and cast his ballot.
Yeah, so in the lead up to this election, we've seen counter accusations by both parties about how they are bringing in tax to cause chaos and violence. But we also know that their meeting with the IGP was successful because they both were satisfied with the security preparations for today's event. What can you report in terms of security? Nyako is still our man there. You saw earlier the crowd that assisted Gyakye Quayson. He wanted to go and cast his vote. We're told that it's not time yet for Gyakye Quayson to cast his vote. But just so you know, he's the NDC candidate for the by-election. Of course, if you've been following events, you know that there's been a court case which threw him out of Parliament because the Supreme Court said he had breached the Constitution, Article 92. And so there's been a by-election. So we'll be going back to Assin North, Assin when we get news from that area. But where to stay for all you need to know for the Assin North by-election. It's your election headquarters here on Joy News. We've got you covered for the whole day. And thanks for sticking with this channel on your election headquarters. It's told the Assin North by-election. It's been controversial, much anticipated, especially by both the two major political parties. As you can see in your screens, Gyakye Quayson is now going to cast his vote. He is the candidate for the NDC, and he is the one who created this vacuum after the Supreme Court declared his election as null and void, and so Parliament had to strike his name out. You can see that he's been flanked by the former Director of Elections of the NDC, Elvis Efriankra. You can see the communications officer, National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, also with him. A number of the NDC party officials who are with Gyakye Quayson, and he's going to cast his ballot right now. Okay, so we are hearing that he's actually finished with casting his ballot. He's actually obviously going to meet some supporters, and you've seen earlier how they've chanted songs of victory for Gyakye Quayson. Hopefully we'll be hearing from him if he decides to speak with his supporters. Let's go back to Kojo Nyako. He is on the ground for us and hear what he has to say.
So let the
How does the president?
Push one, we know you. I see a said that some medium to time. The people love this man and you can see it. After he has started, by the time we are done, you will see the love the people have for him. No matter the intimidation, no matter Sika ni pecheche, ni nyina be kwa. You nyame ehira no no we hira.
Sami obisi my mistake na go say mo for Charles Opoku na eba. But my mistake.
Charles Opoku is a political prostitute.
Oh,
Oba ye ho say Yama Honorable Quayson Tranche, near Manemra.
Exactly.
And yes, NDC.
Where was that? Where was that?
It will make you so.
Where was that?
I can give you WhatsApp chats with our executives. That's a political prostitute. No principles, no conviction, no track record. You don't even vote here. And no person here MP. Let's leave it to the good people of Assin North to decide.
Thank you. Now, have you regretted? And this more regretted some James because contest na easy contest.
We could not have gotten any better option. Since this constituency was created in 2012, the parliamentary candidate from 2012, the Sinewenya Mapa in any election, is him 17,500. Ebro Biadieso, Ebro presidential candidate Biadieso. He's the most popular person from Assin North. You can see the love they have for him. And we are happy, we are excited that we have somebody like Gyakye Quayson leading our campaign. Thank you.
No, that is Sami Jemfi, the communications officer of the NDC, indicating and alleging that Charles Opoku came to the NDC to tell them they should ignore Gyakye Quayson and allow him to contest as the candidate for this place, but they did not agree to that demand, and that is why he is describing Charles Opoku as a political prostitute, because he does not stick to one place. He came to them and he's saying that he can show us WhatsApp messages between himself and Charles Opoku, with Mr. Charles Opoku saying that he wants to join the NDC and they should allow him to contest in the name of the NDC. So that is currently happening. We are trying to get a word from Mr. Gyakye Quayson, who is just voted. He is clad in all white, and the supporters believe that Gyakye Quayson will be the eventual winner of this by-election. Meanwhile, the security has been very, very tight. We saw what happened when we went to the police center. Even though it's been a bit chaotic, but the security were able to put situations under control. And in terms of how the process is going, it's been going very, very smooth. He has voted. Now, the question many of the supporters of the NDC are asking is that now Gyakye Quayson has voted here. What about Charles Opoku? Because Charles Opoku cannot vote in this constituency as of now. And so this is what they are saying.
Has voted. The foreigner has voted. Now, the Ghanaian that they say they claim to be the citizen of Ghana, he should come and vote. We are waiting for them because our candidates have already voted. And they claim that he's a foreigner, Canadian. Now, we are waiting for the Ghanaian to come and vote. Yes, we are waiting for him to come and vote.
What has Charles done for you to repose that kind of confidence in him that he will win?
Sure, bro, sure. If it is more than 70%, then they means they have cheaters. That means you see have massaged the numbers. Yes, Yes.
Why will you be accusing the EC? Because now this is this process is free, fair, transparent.
The electoral commission is with the MPP.
Why? I mean, I don't know that one for sure.
No, but me, I know.
On what basis are you saying that if you know?
Oh, but you know, already.
Already told you that I don't know.
The deputy electoral commissioner, which is Boss Masari, said the NDC is a threat to democracy. So means it's in one side, and we know their attitude. I formally stay with Jemesa. Jemesa at all.
Supporters of the NDC
can see the NDC's candidate Gyakye Quayson in the footages on the screens. He's just finished casting his ballot, and you can hear Kojo Nyako has been engaging a number of the electorates and supporters, and one of them, interestingly, said Gyakye Quayson, who has been described as a Canadian, has actually casted his ballot. They are waiting for Charles Opoku, who is a candidate for the NPP, to also come and cast his ballot, because they say he doesn't have a vote in that constituency, and they cannot fathom how he can lead them without he himself having a vote in that constituency. So